Welcome back, lore masters. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most anticipated, game-changing arrivals in House of the Dragon, Prince Daeron Targaryen and the hidden Hightower host. While King's Landing falls into chaos and Team Black fractures from within, the Greens have been holding a literal nuclear option down in Oldtown. In this video, we are breaking down who Daeron Targaryen really is, why George R.R. Martin considers him vital to the story, the terrifying composition of the Hightower army, and how this southern crusade is about to blindside Rhaenyra's forces. If you think the Greens are losing their grip on Westeros, think again. Smash that subscribe button, grab your maester's chain, and let's unfold the maps of the Reach. To understand the army, we first have to understand the prince. Daeron Targaryen is the youngest son of King Viserys and Queen Alicent. If you've only watched the show up to recently, you might have forgotten he even existed because he's been completely absent from the courtly drama of King's Landing. At a young age, Daeron was sent to Oldtown to serve as a cupbearer and squire to Lord Aemond Hightower. This is a classic Westerosi political move, keeping a prince close to his mother's house to solidify their undying loyalty. Unlike his brothers, Aegon the Unready and Aemond the Cruel, Daeron is historically described in Fire and Blood as the most popular of Alicent's sons. He's clever, courteous, handsome, and fiercely loyal to his family. While Aegon wallows in self-pity and Aemond burns with a psychotic need for vengeance, Daeron represents the stable, knightly ideal of a prince. But do not confuse his kindness for weakness. Daeron is a dragon rider, and his bond with his dragon is nothing short of majestic. Which brings us to the beautiful, deadly beast known as the Blue Queen. Daeron's dragon is Tessarion, famously called the Blue Queen. Her scales are a striking cobalt blue, her claws, crest, and belly scales are bright as beaten copper, and even her dragonfire is a distinct, beautiful cobalt blue. Tessarion is younger and smaller than beasts like Caraxes or the monstrous Vhagar, but what she lacks in raw, crushing mass, she makes up for in incredible speed and agility. In dragon warfare, size isn't the only thing that matters. Tessarion is a fierce, aggressive fighter. Because Daeron and Tessarion have been training away from the toxic environment of King's Landing, they have formed a clean, highly effective combat partnership. When the Greens lost a massive amount of their air superiority during the tragic events of earlier battles, Tessarion suddenly became the ultimate trump card. Rhaenyra's spies have kept tabs on Vhagar, but they have completely underestimated the threat of a highly maneuverable dragon striking from the south. Now let's talk about the boots on the ground, the Hightower host. While the Lannister armies and the Baratheon forces have their own massive roles to play, the army marching out of Oldtown is arguably the best-funded, best-equipped military machine in the Seven Kingdoms. Remember, Oldtown is the center of the faith of the Seven and the Citadel. It is immensely wealthy, second only to King's Landing and Lannisport in trade. When House Hightower calls its banners, they aren't just drafting poor farmers, they are marching a disciplined, armored legion. Led by Lord Aemond Hightower, Otto's nephew, this army consists of thousands of heavy knights, disciplined crossbowmen, and stalwart foot soldiers. But their march northward isn't an easy stroll. The Reach is heavily divided. While the Hightowers rule the south, powerful houses like the Blackwoods, the Beesburys, and various lords of the Mandor are fiercely loyal to Rhaenyra. As the Hightower army attempts to march north to reinforce King's Landing, they find themselves constantly harassed, ambushed, and pinned down by Team Black loyalists. For a long time, it looked like this hidden army would be neutralized before they ever reached the main theater of war. Until the prince took to the skies. This is where the lore hits high gear. The Hightower army was facing a tactical nightmare, nearly surrounded by enemies near the Honeywine River. They were on the verge of being completely wiped out. But in a moment that will go down as one of the most epic rescues in Westerosi history, Prince Daeron and Tessarion arrived. The sky turned blue with dragonfire, turning a certain green defeat into a total, crushing victory. This victory completely flips the script of the Dance of the Dragons. Suddenly, the hidden army is no longer hidden. They are a massive, rolling juggernaut moving directly toward the heart of the realm. Their primary target? Tumbleton. Tumbleton is the last line of defense for King's Landing from the south. If the Hightowers take it, Rhaenyra is trapped in a pincer movement between Aemond in the Riverlands and Daeron in the Reach. The sheer panic this causes in Rhaenyra's inner circle is exactly what forces her to make desperate, dangerous decisions, like relying too heavily on unproven dragon seeds. Prince Daeron and the Hightower host prove that in the Game of Thrones, the dangers you don't see coming are the ones that destroy you. Rhaenyra spent all her time looking at Aegon and Aemond, completely forgetting that the youngest brother was growing up, learning to fight, and waiting for his moment to save his family's crown. When Daeron finally makes his grand entrance on our screens, the dance of the dragons will never be the same. But what do you think? Will Daeron be the savior the Greens desperately need, or will the sheer brutality of the war consume him just like it did his brothers? Let me know your thoughts and book theories in the comments below.